Hi y'all, welcome to my video and Merry Christmas. Today is only December 5th, but we have started decorating, so we have our Christmas tree up today. So I hope you enjoy the background. In one of my past videos, I mentioned that I hadn't been working out and running as much as I needed to be, and there was kind of a bit of a story behind that, and so today I want to actually sit down and share that with you. So it's going to be real, it's going to be honest, and it's going to be tough. So let me just let you in on what's been going on in my life and just be real with you guys. That's what I'm here to do. If you don't want to hear things that might potentially make you sad or depressed, then you don't need to listen. But if you yourself sometimes struggle with trying to keep up with a goal and push through even when you are having a hard time, then keep listening, because I'm right there with you, and it is really hard to go through those times by yourself. And so I just want you to know that you're not by yourself, you're not alone. I'm just going to share with you my experience. Let's get going. The last clip that you guys saw was the turkey trot that I ran with my family, and that was kind of the last big running thing that I've done. So it's been a couple weeks since I've done anything, and prior to that I hadn't been doing much either. Back in the summer is when I had originally signed up to do the distance challenge leading up to the full marathon. And I was really motivated, and I was running pretty regularly, trying to run faster and trying to keep walking faster so that my heart rate didn't drop too low. And I was doing really good. I was really motivated. My main goal for doing this was to get into a better shape than I am. I had a son, I had a baby, and so I gained some weight with that. And since then I had lost some right after he was born, and I had gained some back and kind of been going back and forth. And I wanted to actually get to a good shape. Not go back to a shape that I was before, because that's not really possible. Once you have a baby, your shape kind of changes. But I wanted to get into a good, healthy, fit shape. And so I really wanted something that I had to commit to and do. So that's why I signed up to do the distance challenge and the marathon. As I was getting into it and was really doing well, keeping up with my runs, I was noticing that yes, I was getting a little bit better at it, and I felt like I was getting stronger, but I didn't see any change in my body. I didn't really feel like I was losing weight or losing inches or anything like that, however you want to keep track of that. For me personally, I was keeping track of a little bit on my weight, but mostly in how things were fitting. I wasn't necessarily measuring, but I noticed that things weren't necessarily fitting me any better. And so that kind of got me down. I really wanted to be doing this to get into a good shape, and when I was working as hard as I was and I felt like I had some momentum going, I wanted to see more results. And I wasn't expecting it after a week or after 2 weeks. I was thinking, after a month I should start seeing something, and I wasn't. And so I kind of got down on myself about that. I'm working hard, doing all of this workout, and there's nothing to show for it, is what I kind of was thinking to myself. Well, part of that, I think, was with eating. So as you're working out and you're doing some kind of workout routine, you also have to take into consideration your food. Well, unfortunately, food for me is where I go when I'm stressed. So when I wasn't eating very well while I was working out, I was eating okay, but not well. If I'm being honest with myself, I wasn't eating the best that I should have been. But I was eating better than a lot of people around me, but it wasn't good enough. And to match up with the workouts that I was doing, I needed to be eating better food so that my body had what it needed to allow me to work more and to burn fat and to gain muscle and all of that. And it wasn't matching. And the problem was I was getting depressed that I wasn't getting into better shape. So I ate bad food, which meant I didn't get into shape. So I ate bad food. See the cycle? Anybody else with me here? Does that tend to happen to anybody else? Yeah, so you feel bad about not looking good, not feeling good, so then you eat and then you feel worse. So I kind of was slowly getting into this cycle. It wasn't terrible at the beginning. I continued to run and I continued to do my races, and I tried to eat well sometimes it didn't work, but it slowly got worse and worse and worse and worse. And the biggest problem that I had was what I was telling myself, all of the negativity that I kept telling myself. And with all of that, it then would cause me to go to things that wouldn't help me achieve my overall goal of getting fit and getting healthy. And I feel like that happens to so many of us so easily. And there's little things can happen in our lives that kind of help feed that. But the biggest thing is ourselves. We keep telling ourselves that. And it's hard sometimes when you get in a cycle and get in a routine of telling yourselves all of this negative things that aren't true, and you just stick to them and they just get worse, and you keep telling yourself more and more and more. And before you know it, you're so far the opposite direction of where you wanted to be because you allowed those thoughts to just take over your life. Well, that's kind of where I was. I could kind of tell that things were going wrong, and I would just tell myself, I'll deal with it tomorrow. Well, yeah, I'll just deal with it next week. No, let's try something today. Well, no, I'm tired. And different things would come up, and I would actually allow myself to make excuses. I've said in the past where I had gotten to a point where if something happened and I couldn't work out for some reason, I was pretty good at getting myself back up and actually doing the workout the next day. And with what had been going on here, I just kept falling deeper and deeper, pretty much into, a level of depression. I know there's multiple levels, and, if you feel like you are in depression, really seek help. Seek a counselor, seek a therapist, whatever you need. I'm just telling you my experience, but I'm by no means anybody who can tell you how to handle your own. But I felt like I just kind of got stuck in it, and I was having a hard time getting out. I knew I was there, and there were certain moments where I could get out of it, and moments where I would be motivated to get out of it, motivated to do something to help me actually get out of it. Not just get out of it momentarily, but get out of it and really push forward. But I just kind of let excuses come, and I let them rule my life. I let the negative thoughts and all of the excuses just take over, and I just got so far from my goals. And it's not fun. It's not pleasant. It's not enjoyable. It just is not fun. It sucks. It just sucks. So, today I went and dropped my son off so that I can actually teach later this afternoon. And on my way home, I realized, you know what? I need to just go run. I just need to do it. Don't take my dogs with me. I don't have my son. I just need to go. Don't worry about all of the running stuff. Don't worry about getting the headphones. Don't worry about getting all the running stuff to put my phone in. Just grab my phone and go. But I felt like before I did that, I'm going to do it. Before I did that, I just wanted to fill you guys in on what's been going on. If you keep telling yourself negative things and it just kind of gets you into a cycle of just negativity and being down on yourself and feeling like, well, even if I tried, it's not good enough, I want you to know that you're not alone. And other people struggle with the same things. And maybe just talking to somebody about it will help. Maybe hearing how somebody else got out of it might help. So some of the negative thoughts that I had were that I'm never going to get back in shape. I'm never going to lose the weight. I'm always going to be this big. Everybody else can eat all this crappy food and I have to eat all this healthy stuff and they look so much skinnier than I do. Why can't I look that skinny? Why do they not have to work, but I have to work this hard? And it's so much negativity. And what I want to encourage you to do, which is something I am still working on, is find the good in yourself and remind yourself that. I get reminded so often that God doesn't see you that way. And so, how does God see you? And He doesn't see me as fat. He doesn't see me as, worse than everybody else. He sees me just for me. And He knows that I'm a work in progress, and He's working on me. And so I really have felt the last couple days, maybe week, that I need to really start doing that. I used to do that more often. It was much easier for me to kind of see from that perspective. But I got in a rut, and I got in a routine of just only listening to the negative thoughts that were going in my head and not listening to any positive thoughts. And it's a really sad place to be. It's really lonely and miserable, and I don't like it. So today, driving home, I just kept telling myself, you know what? God gave me legs to run. I don't need all this fancy stuff. I don't need to get my dogs with me. I don't need to do all this other stuff. If I need to run, then I just go run. That's how it needs to be sometimes. I just need to go run. And I felt like because I was in a place that I was thinking like that again, which I haven't really been lately, that I needed to sit down and share with you guys and be honest about what's been going on and share some of the kind of yucky stuff about when you're trying to achieve a goal, and especially when other people around you don't have the same goal as you, so they are doing things that match up with what you're doing. And that's fine. People have different goals. But for me personally, I tend to rely on other people too much. And if I'm wanting to eat healthy, I want everyone around me to eat healthy, right? It just makes it so much easier. But it's not realistic. And if you have a goal, you have to stick to it yourself and not rely on other people. And I hope that somehow something that I've said today maybe is helpful. And if you just need somebody to talk to, go talk to somebody. Go share your struggles. Go say, hey, I had this goal and I'm having a hard time getting out of the rut I'm in to go achieve it. And just start sharing it. Sometimes you find if you just say it out loud, you realize the rut that you've been in. You realize all the negativity you've been telling yourself. And it makes it so much easier to get out of. Now I'm going to just grab my phone and I'm going to go for a run. So you guys come along and let's get back to this. Let's get back to the working out and the runs and training for a marathon.
All right, so the day I choose to start running again, it's 57 degrees. It's so cold. It's been 80s. Okay, running sucks. My lungs hurt. I'm cold. My legs hurt. But I do have to say, it felt nice being able to run on my own. Nothing attached to me. And just go. Feel my body do one of the things it was meant to do. It's nice. This sucks. All right, here we go. Yeah. That about says it. My lungs are on fire. I think mostly because it's cold. I know 57 is not that cold for y'all, for most of y'all out there. But I hate cold, and it hurts. Oh. Alright, I'm gonna keep going. Got this. So it's a pretty dreary day. First day of the cold front. Really cloudy. We don't get cool colors on our trees. So, yeah, that's what I'm looking at. Still nice. Still nice to be outside though. Alright, time to run. Alright, did it. Okay, ran just under a mile and a half. I know that's nothing compared to what I'm training for. But as I just mentioned before I went, I haven't run much. And to get out and run by myself and just do it and not make excuses and not tell myself I have other things I need to do more that are more important, that's a big deal. I went and ran, and you know what? Where I'm at right now and how low I've been how depressed I've been and how much negativity I've been just sitting in. That is a big accomplishment. And you know what? You have to find those and you have to celebrate them. Because if you don't realize that what you did and what you were, you have to realize that when you can do little things like that, that builds into bigger things. And without the little things, you can't accomplish anything big. So, at least that's what that's my thoughts on it. So, I did a short run. I did it all by myself. I just went and did it. I didn't take headphones. I didn't listen to music. All I did was throw on a jacket and take my phone with me. Yes, it helped that the last couple days I've just gotten up and put on workout clothes, hoping that I would work out. So I was already ready that way. But today I actually did it. I actually went and ran. So you guys can do it too. I also want to share something because I haven't shared it before. Something I had done in the past, training, and when I had been running a lot more a couple years ago. One of the things that I found kind of is a mantra, but it's a prayer, is anytime I would really struggle, I would just repeat over and over, Lord, give me strength. Lord, give me strength. And I kind of get into a rhythm of it. And it would be the times when I was hurting, when my knee was hurting, when my legs were hurting, when my lungs were hurting, something. And I would just say that over and over and over. And it still is something that I have now, and I continue to pray. It's something that I probably said 1,000,000 times when I was in labor. It's not just with running, but anytime there's something hard, that's kind of something that I just do, and I just pray it. Well, I don't think I shared this with you guys. My 10-mile race that I did in November. I found I was getting to about mile 8, and I realized that I hadn't actually been praying that. I hadn't. And so what I did instead, when I realized that, is I actually started praising God, because I had realized that through all the training that I had done, that He actually had given me strength. So when I was doing the 10 miles and I got into mile 8, I was just relying on the training that I had, and I wasn't dying. I had actually trained well enough to be able to get that far, and it just hit me that I hadn't been doing that. So instead I just started praying and praising God for giving me the strength that He had, and for realizing that I had trained for that. I know that the race that I'm going to be doing this Sunday, I'm probably not going to be feeling the same way physically as I did on the 10 mile, just because of my lack of training since the 10 mile. So I think I'm probably going to be getting back to my mantra of, Lord, give me strength. Lord, give me strength. And you know what? I'm okay with that. I will do what I need to do, or the best that I can do, leading up to that. I think that God gives you strength, and He also gives you the opportunity to do the work. It's not just on Him. You can't just say, hey, this is my prayer, this is my request, God, make it happen. He gives you the opportunity and opens up doors for you to be able to do the work to get there. And He gives you the strength that you need to get there, gives you the tools, gives you the skills and everything to do that. So I got to do my part this week, and I got to work hard, and I got to be ready for Sunday. So I am really hoping that you guys will see a lot more of me this week and get to come along on a lot of my workouts. You're probably going to see a lot of this huffing and puffing and dying. But hey, I got out there and I did it. So that's all you got to do. Just get out and do one thing. Take one step. Make one switch. You're doing something that you don't like, a bad habit, just make one switch. Do something to take a small step towards your big goal that you have. And, we can do it together. All right, I'll see y'all later this week. Keep it up.